Welcome to this Yin and Yoga Nidra practice. My name is Alex. So, for this evening's session, we are going to be focusing on the heart or the heart chakra. So, the energy center that is located in the chest near the heart. For this practice, as I mentioned earlier, you might want to make sure that you have some props nearby, anything for some extra support during the yin portion and during the yoga nidra practice. We're going to start this practice with some gentle movement. So we are going to move a little bit just for a couple of minutes as we start to settle into our bodies and connect with our breath. And then we'll slow it down for the yin practice, which lasts about 20 to 40 minutes. Actually, it's closer to that 40-minute mark. And then the last portion of class will be the yoga nidra, which is a yogic sleep. So you'll be able to get nice and cozy so that you can rest and relax listening to a guided meditation. So we're going to begin on hands and knees, beginning with some movement, coming into our bodies. As you arrive on hands and knees, go ahead and check in with your alignment. So your shoulders are somewhat over your wrists and your hips are somewhat above your knees. With the eyes soft or closed, to start to find some natural movement. You might gently sway your hips from side to side. Maybe you circle through the hips. Start to move in any ways that feel good for your body. And as you start to move here, bring awareness to your breath. We'll come back to a still tabletop. With your inhale, kick your right foot behind you, straighten through your right leg. You're welcome to stay, or rather, I'm going to change this up. You're welcome to draw your knee towards your face, or you're welcome to drop your knee to the ground, coming back to tabletop. As you inhale, re-extend your right leg and foot, knee to nose or knee to the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale to release or round through the spine. Full breath in, reach your right foot back. And release your knee to the ground. We'll take this to the other side. As you're ready, kicking the left foot back. Deep breath in. As you exhale, drawing your knee towards your face or down to the ground. Full breaths, drawing the left foot back with your inhale. You choose how you would like this to look on your exhale. Keep moving with your own breath. One last time, kick your left foot back and come back to tabletop. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Gently tap your forehead to the ground. Rise back up through tabletop. And then walk your hands forward a step or so as you start to shift the hips forward and down. Any amount, pausing where you feel some sensation. You're not forcing anything here. As you exhale, sink back into child's pose, drawing your hips towards your heels. Come back through tabletop. Walk the hands, shift the hips any amount. Breathe in. Exhale into child's pose. Come back to tabletop. Find some free movement. Feel your breath. And then make your way into a cross-legged position. We'll just find a little bit more movement before we settle into stillness. So with your legs crossed, draw the top of your head up towards the ceiling. Nice tall spine. Your hands can rest on your thighs or on your knees. We're gonna Inhale as we draw the upper body from knee to knee in a half circle. As you exhale, you can round through the spine. Maybe draw your chin towards your collarbones, creating full circles. Following the guidance of your own breath. And then continuing to pair these movements with your breath, take the circles in the other direction. And start to make your circles smaller and smaller until eventually you arrive in stillness. And as you arrive with a neutral spine, you could place something under your seat, a blanket or something for support. Draw the crown of your head towards the ceiling, creating length in the spine. Guide both hands over your heart, maybe planting the left hand first and then the right hand on top of the left. Gently lift the heart just a little bit higher. You don't need to force anything here. And bring your awareness to your breath. Drawing full breaths into the belly, rib cage, and chest. Full, long exhales. As you start to land here, shift your awareness to your heart space. The heart or the heart chakra is the place of unconditional love, acceptance, compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude. And take a moment to just feel into how your heart might be feeling. It's okay if you're not quite sensing anything in this moment. We'll dive a little bit deeper in our Nidra practice. You might just simply feel the heart beating beneath your hands. You're welcome to set an intention. This could be a positive word, affirmation, image, or feeling. Something that you can focus on throughout this yin portion. We'll do some intention setting in the Nidra portion. So it's okay if nothing comes to mind in this moment, or you might notice that your intention evolves or changes. Release your hands onto your lap. Draw your left leg out long. Cross your right leg on top, or rather over your left leg, and start to draw the heel to the outside of the left hip. Doesn't have to be exact. Just find a place that feels okay for that top leg and the hip. You're welcome to stay in this half variation. You could slide something underneath your extended leg for some extra support. If you want to try the full version, you can draw your left heel to the outside of your right knee. If you take this option, you could place something between the legs. Adjust as you need to. And just know that throughout this practice, you're always welcome to adjust as you need to. something doesn't quite feel right, or if you start to experience any kind of pain or numbness, these are signals from your body. You're always welcome to back away or come out of a pose. And then we're going to take eagle arms for the upper body. Drawing the arms out nice and long, cross your right arm on top of your left arm at the elbow. Draw your hands up towards the ceiling. You can let your hands just rest like this, letting the fingers be soft. Or if you're able to, you could draw your hands to touch. That's not available to everyone, so that's okay if you're not quite there today. And then from here, draw your elbows down and away, creating a little bit more openness in the shoulders and the back side of the heart. If this is enough sensation for you, stay here. If you want more sensation and it's available in your body, you might draw your arms down towards your legs. The phrase we use in yin practice is, if you're feeling it, you're doing it. So as long as you're feeling something somewhere, you're doing it just right. The shape doesn't have to look like my shape or what you might think it should look like. It's all about tuning into how your body is responding and feeling. As you continue to breathe here, you might place your awareness on the back side of the heart space. Breathe in, visualizing opening or sense of openness, sense of receiving. We'll release the eagle arms, gently unwind. You might shrug your shoulders, find some circles. We'll keep the lower part of the body in the same shape. You might guide your fingers or your hands to the ground as you start to shift towards your legs. Any amount is fine. Seeing how that changes the sensation. We'll be here for about 4 more breaths. As you're ready to come out of this, plant your hands on the ground behind you, unwind your leg or legs, planting both feet with the knees up towards the ceiling, and then gently sway the knees from side to side. We'll begin to set up for side 2, drawing the right leg out long, crossing the Left heel to the outside of the right hip. And before we make any assumptions here, close your eyes. Notice what you're feeling. And see what this side wants and needs. It might look the same as the other side. It might look different. Might come into that full version if your hips are asking for more sensation. Or maybe you stay with your leg long, offer yourself anything for comfort or support. And once you feel that you have a nice foundation set for your legs, draw your arms out long, cross your left arm on top of your right arm at the elbow, hands towards the ceiling. If the eagle arm variation feels like too much for you, you could also just take your hands to opposite shoulders. Allow the breath to be full and expansive. As you find stillness here, see if you can invite a sense of softening. Notice any places where you might be holding or gripping. See where you can soften. And release the arms. Find some movement for your shoulders. And then we'll soften in for a few more breaths. Again, you might fold gently over your legs. And guide the top of your head towards the ceiling as you rest your hands on the ground behind you. Unwind your legs, plant your feet. Find some movement for your knees. Make your way onto all fours. If you have a bolster or some cushions, you might have those nearby. We're going to come into a melting heart position. So I will show you the first option without props. So what you'll do is you'll walk your hands forward, almost like you're coming into a child's pose with your hips still lifted above your knees, lowering the forehead to the ground. So you'll feel some nice opening along the chest and shoulders. And then if you want more sensation, you can press into your fingers, lifting your palms up. Maybe just setting them back down. So you'll feel some opening there. Another option, if you have a bolster or something of that nature, and I haven't practiced this one often, you could guide your elbows onto the bolster, dropping your head kind of beneath with your hands connected. Maybe guiding the hands towards the back of the head. See what works best for you. We won't be in this position for too long. Bring your awareness to your breath. So this might feel like a little bit of an awkward position. Let's see if you can soften any places that you might be holding. Checking in with the jaw, the fingers, the shoulders. And just a couple more breaths here. Pressing into your palms, lift your head away from the ground, come back to tabletop. Let's just find some gentle, natural movement here. And we're going to make our way onto our bellies. And I'm going to give you some more options here. You have the option to take a Sphinx pose, resting on your forearms with your palms pressing firmly onto your mat, fingers spread wide. Your elbows are somewhat beneath your shoulders. You might take your legs a little bit wider on the mat. So you're welcome to stay here in this Sphinx pose, which is a gentle heart opener. If you want a little bit more challenge, and you can always try the challenge and you might come back to Sphinx, whatever you choose is perfect. So what we're going to do is come into a bow pose where we guide the heels towards the glutes, reach the hands back to the ankles or the tops of the feet, and then lift the chest away from the ground, kicking the ankles or the legs back towards the back of the room. Maybe even gently lifting the thighs away from the ground, squeezing the shoulder blades. So this is a little bit more of a yang pose, a little bit more active. Maybe you try it, maybe you decide to come back to Sphinx. And if you do come back to Sphinx after bow pose, maybe you sway the hips a little bit from side to side, releasing the legs. Feel your breath wherever you are. You can always come to Sphinx, back to bow, back to Sphinx. If you're in Sphinx pose, you could trace your chin from shoulder to shoulder along the collarbones. If you want to find a nice stretch and release for the back of the neck and the head, you could just soften your head down, drawing your chin to your collarbones, maybe resting the forehead on a block. And let's totally release onto the ground, drawing the heart towards the earth. Bring your cheek to the mat. Draw your arms in at your sides. Allow yourself to be heavy here. You might even be able to hear the sound of your heart beating. And bring the palms to the ground beneath your shoulders. Press yourself up into tabletop. We'll just take a little bit of movement here before we make our way onto our backs. Checking in with alignment. Press in through your left palm, open your right hand to the ceiling, feel the heart following. And then we're going to release that right arm and hand, guide it behind the left arm. We're actually not going to come into a full thread the needle, but rather we're going to just sweep the arm and hand under. Maybe you touch your shoulder with a full breath in, reach your hand and heart towards the ceiling. Exhale to sweep. Inhale to open. We'll release the right hand, taking this to the other side. Left hand opens, the heart follows. Release. Keep moving with your breath. And then we'll release the left hand to the ground. Go ahead and just pause in a seat while I offer some instruction for this next pose. So we're going to come into a supported fish. If you're familiar with this pose and you know how you like it and what props you want to use, go for it. So the way that I like to guide this is using 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, that's okay. I'll show you a couple of other options. But the way I like to do it is I like to place on the ground, place 1 block on the lowest setting underneath my shoulder blades. Some people like it on the medium setting. Whatever you choose is fine as long as it feels okay for your body. And then if you only have 1 block, you could actually come down and maybe you have a pillow or something to place underneath your head. If you have 2 blocks, place the other block underneath your head. And then we can talk about leg variations in a moment. If you have a bolster, you can take it nice and vertical, guiding it to your sacrum, lowering your spine onto the bolster. And then if you have a blanket, You can roll it up, and then you can take that either vertically along the spine or underneath the shoulder blade. So we're ultimately offering ourselves some support in a fish pose and allowing our heart and chest to open. As far as leg variations, you might keep the feet connected to the earth. Maybe the knees just stay up towards the ceiling. You could walk the feet to the edges of the mat, drawing the knees in towards each other. You could bring the feet together, bringing the legs into butterfly. You could also just let your legs rest out nice and long, maybe even offering, if you have additional items, offering something underneath the legs, behind the knees. Your arms can rest wherever is most comfortable. You might take them nice and wide, or maybe they stay closer towards your body. And give yourself a few moments to get fully set up here so that you feel supported. And once you feel settled, bring awareness to your breath and to your heart space. And with each inhalation, feel the heart rising. As you settle into stillness and silence, notice where the mind goes. And simply notice, release any judgment. You begin to make your way out of this pose, either by lifting up through the front body or rolling over to one side, coming up and out. Move any props out at your sides. We're going to come firmly onto the ground. You might take a moment to get settled here. And then with the feet connected to the ground and the knees up towards the sky, press through both feet as you lift the hips, set them over to the left a couple of inches, and then lower the knees to the right. You can take a moment here to adjust the legs, maybe crossing that top leg over the bottom leg, maybe taking it nice and long. Arms can go as wide as they're able to, and then maybe you take your gaze over to the left, drawing the left ear to the ground. Cultivate a sense of softening here. Allow yourself to be heavy. Once you're ready, we'll come back to center, drawing the knees towards the ceiling, resetting the spine. And then press in through the soles of the feet, lift the hips, step them to the right a few inches. Lower the knees to the left. Take a moment to settle in. Give your body permission to soften. Come back to center. And draw your knees towards your chest, grabbing onto knees or shins. Find a little bit of gentle movement, maybe swaying side to side or tracing circles with your knees. Begin to gather any items that you want for your yogic sleep, this yoga nidra practice. Maybe there's even something that you can use to cover your eyes. Maybe it's a sweatshirt or a towel or an eye pillow. You might come into a traditional shavasana, fully on your back with legs extended, palms facing up. You might offer yourself something underneath the legs or a blanket. You can always take your shavasana in any position that feels nourishing, such as a child's pose or the fetal position. This is Yoga Nidra, practice of deep relaxation and connection with your true self. You will remain awake throughout this session. All you need to do is listen to the sound of my voice, allowing my words to wash over you, and simply witness your experience. It's perfectly okay if you do not hear everything that I say. In this practice, it is natural to flow in and out of conscious hearing. You will remain awake. The deepest part of you, your core self, is always listening. Continue to offer yourself any adjustments or subtle movements so that you can sink deeply into stillness for the remainder of the practice. Once you have settled into stillness, remain still with your eyes closed throughout for deep rest and deep nourishment. Like a magnet, begin to attract and call home any pieces of your energy that may still be wandering about. either from earlier today or this week, or any of your attention that might be projecting into the future. Give your whole self permission to arrive here. You are here now, fully present, safe in the comfort of your home. Begin to notice everything that you are aware of in this moment. Place your attention on sounds, smells, the temperature, the clothing upon your skin. Become aware of any thoughts, emotions, physical sensations. Greet everything in your awareness with a sense of curiosity and compassion, and without any judgment or criticism. You are simply a witness to what you are experiencing. As your physical body settles and softens, visualize all of the places where your body connects with the earth below. Allow yourself to be supported here, as though you are being held in the arms of a loving mother. Notice how it feels to be held and supported. Without changing your breath, begin to notice your natural breath flowing through you. Feel your in-breath. Feel your out-breath. Notice the temperature as it comes in and out through your nose or mouth. Follow the breath as it moves into the nostrils, down through the chest and abdomen. Follow the breath as it moves out from the lungs, esophagus, nostrils or mouth. With each inhalation, visualize all of your cells being deeply nourished. With each exhalation, feel a sense of calm and softening. You are fully awake and aware. And go deep within now. Visualize and sense your heart chakra. You might visualize a pink or green ball of light in the center of your chest. And the heart chakra helps us to love unconditionally, both ourselves and others. It is also about forgiveness and gratitude. Physically, the heart governs the lungs, thymus glands, shoulders, chest, and upper back. And take a moment to connect with your heart's deepest longing. What does your heart want you to know? You might ask your heart, what do I need to know right now? I invite you to create an intention, affirmation, or sankalpa based on the answer that you receive. This may be a positive word or statement. It could even be an image or a feeling. Imagine it in the present tense as though it is already happening. For example, I lead from a place of love, or I am loving awareness. And trust whatever it is that comes through. And if you find that you are struggling to create an intention, know that your intention may arrive later throughout this practice, and it's perfectly okay to not have an intention. Simply continue to remain present throughout the practice. Once you have created or visualized your intention, repeat it 3 times in your mind and feel it as though it is already happening. Allow your awareness to travel now through your body on a guided journey of sensation. Simply feel each part as it is mentioned, and without moving, remain still. You will remain awake. Bring awareness to your heart chakra or your heart space. Feel your left side of your chest, left rib cage, right side of chest, right rib cage, sternum, upper abdomen, navel, lower abdomen, pelvis, front of the left hip, thigh, knee, shin, ankle, top of the left foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, sole of the foot, heel, sense the whole left foot, left ankle, calf, back of the thigh, left glute. Bring awareness to the right hip, thigh, knee, shin,
ankle, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe, sole of the foot, heel, feel the whole right foot, ankle, calf, back of the thigh, right glute, low back and sacrum, mid back, upper back, back side of the heart chakra, place your awareness on your left hand, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, whole left hand, left wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder. Move awareness to your right hand, thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, whole right hand, right wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder. Sense your left shoulder blade, right shoulder blade, back of the neck, back of the head, crown of the head, forehead, left eyebrow, right eyebrow, space between the eyebrows, left eyelid, right eyelid. Feel both eyes. Left temple, right temple, left ear, right ear, tip of the nose, left nostril, right nostril. Sense both cheeks. Move your awareness to your mouth. Become aware of your tongue, lower jaw, lower row of teeth, upper row of teeth, roof of the mouth, upper lip, lower lip, space between your lips, chin. Bring awareness to the front of your neck, throat, left collarbone, right collarbone, heart chakra. You become fully aware of your whole body. Begin to visualize a beautiful pink or green orb of light in your heart space. Tender, forgiving, grateful, loving. Notice any additional qualities or insights as you focus on this light. Take a moment to reconnect with your intention, repeating it again to yourself 3 times as though it is already happening. Bring awareness to your breath. Invite your breath to deepen. With your eyes still closed, become aware of your surroundings. Feel the ground beneath you. As you're ready to move, you might offer yourself a full stretch, reaching the arms overhead. You might offer yourself a pause in the fetal position. Eventually make your way into a comfortable seat. Close this practice. Allow the eyes to remain soft or closed. Once you arrive, place both hands over your heart. And take a moment again to notice how your heart is feeling. I invite you to bring to mind a person or a group of people. This could be yourself, someone you know, someone you love, perhaps even someone who you are experiencing a challenge with. I invite you to send them gratitude, compassion, or forgiveness. Bring both hands to touch in front of the heart. Draw your thumbs to meet your third eye, the space between your eyebrows, honoring kind and compassionate thoughts and creativity. Lowering the thumbs to the mouth to honor kind and compassionate speech and truth. Lowering the thumbs in front of the heart to honor kind and compassionate wisdom and action. Thank you so much for sharing this yin and yoga nidra practice with me. I see you and I appreciate you. Namaste.